I experienced something that I wouldn't wish on anyone last night, and it's actually taught me a very important lesson. So I was away for a night down south, literally 6 hours away from home, and I stayed at a hotel. That just reminded me that I left my necklaces at the hotel. Anyways, back to the story. So I'm usually hyper vigilant when it comes to like looking around before I enter my room so that there's no one around. And that's because when I was younger, I did get followed home by a couple of older men. So I'm always very wary of my surroundings, who's about, and especially men. So anyways, I settle into my room, I order some room service and don't think much more of it. I then quickly nipped out to Tesco's that was nearby and then came back. Fast forward to 11 o'clock in the evening, I've got a man knocking on my door saying reception. Well, when I tell you the fear that struck over me instantly, like my intuition was like, do not open that door. So I froze. I was stood in the bathroom at the time and I just froze. Didn't want to make a sound. Didn't want that person to know that I was there. This person continued to knock for about 20 minutes. Every time saying reception. But I knew it was dodgy. Like I could feel that it was dodgy. Eventually the guy gave up. Anyways, in the morning, I go down to reception and I explain the situation. And I asked the guy at the reception, I was like, did you knock on my door last night? And he said, no, none of us did. There was no staff that knocked on your door. Nobody needed anything from you. So my intuition was right. Now, after speaking to a dear friend of mine, I actually realised that this is because I created that situation. And this is going to be very triggering to a lot of people because I'll tell you what, it triggered me when she said it to me. And I told her that. Big shout out to Kel. I'll tag her because her videos are unreal, guys. If you've not watched them, please watch them. She's amazing at what she does. But she's essentially asked me to go back to the times in my childhood where I felt fearful of men. Because that little me created the situation that happened last night. Because remember, guys, your biggest fears will come to surface and they will manifest themselves unless you do the inner work. So I could sit there and be a victim and be like, all men are wrong and, men do this, men do that. And, I'm just, a young girl, which is what I tried to do with Kel last night. But she was like, no, look at yourself. You created that situation for yourself. And she is so right. So if this triggers you, okay, look at it. Because it's triggering you for a reason. And you're seeing this video for a reason. If you're serious about your healing journey, this is a must. The craziest part of it all is this was a very last minute trip and it was supposed to be for work, but the thing that I was down there for actually ended up getting cancelled. But because I'd already booked my hotel, I just thought, and I was already halfway there, I was like, I'm just going to go. Now, if I'd never went and that situation never happened, I would have never unlocked the next phase of my healing journey. So this is why I say, when you are feeling called to go somewhere to do something, do it. Because your intuition is constantly guiding you towards bettering yourself. And I now have a lot more inner work to do.